Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you can play a song by Drake called Find Your Love. And it starts out with kind of some percussion in the intro, and we'll talk about where we're going to move this for key in a moment. Actually, we're going to end up capoing on 2nd fret for this song. But it starts out with some percussion, and you may want to kind of try and simulate some of that on the guitar. Or you may be able to find kind of some other sounds on your guitar, so you may want to experiment with that. And then when the chords come in for the verse, we start on an E minor chord, and like I said, we'll talk about where we're going to move this for key. But the way you play E minor, first finger is going to go to the A string on the 2nd fret, second finger is going to go to the D string on the 2nd fret, and if you strum all those together, that sounds like E minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. And we kind of do one big hit on the E minor at the very, very beginning, and then there's kind of this ba-da that kind of comes in to lead back into the E minor, and that happens on a D major chord. And when we play D major, first finger is going to go to the G string on the 2nd fret, second finger is going to go to the high E on the 2nd fret, and third finger is going to go to the B string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum just the D, G, B, and E, kind of the skinny 4 strings, that sounds a D major chord. And that's kind of the chord that's getting used to point back to the E minor at the end of the phrase. It's kind of the D major with 2 downs, and then E minor, D major, E minor, D major, E minor. And then at the very end of the verse, we kind of end up going to a G major chord to kind of push us into our chorus. And the way we play G major, first finger is going to actually kind of stay on the A string 2nd fret, second finger on the low E on the 3rd fret, and third finger on the high E on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. So at the very end, we kind of have that E minor, and then kind of G major, which kind of helps point into our chorus. And on our chorus, we start on an A minor chord. And the way you play A minor, first finger is going to go to the B string on the 1st fret, second finger is going to go to the D string on the 2nd fret, and third finger is going to go to the G string on the 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. And then from the A minor, we're going to be going to a B minor chord. And there's some easy ways to do these, but if you know the bar B minor, you do your first finger across the entire 2nd fret, second finger on the B string on the 3rd fret, third finger on the D string on the 4th fret, and the pinky on the G string on the 4th fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a B minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. But a lot of times with bar chords, you can take the top few strings and make a smaller version of this chord. So if you want to avoid the bar chords, what you could do is take the first finger and go to the high E on the 2nd fret, second finger on the B string on the 3rd fret, and third finger on the G string on the 4th fret. And if you strum the top 3 or the top 4 strings, that's another way you could play B minor. And if you're a little bit more adventurous, you could do first finger on the high E 2nd, second finger on the B string 3rd, and then take the 3rd finger and go to the D string on the 4th fret, and then take the pinky and go to the G string on the 4th fret. And if you strum the top 4 strings with that's another way you can kind of play the B minor. Another substitute for the B minor too would be something called B minor 7. And the way you play B minor 7, first finger is going to go to the A string on the 2nd fret, second finger on the G string on the 2nd fret, third finger on the high E on the 2nd fret. And if you strum on kind of the A string to the high E, that'll get you your clear sound, and that's called B minor 7. So that would be another possibility for the B minor, but I really kind of like the way the bar feels for myself sound-wise. And then from the B minor, we're going to go back to the A minor, and then we go back to B minor. But then we go to a C major chord, and when we play C major, first finger is going to go to the B string on the 1st fret, second finger is going to go to the D string on the 2nd fret, and third finger is going to go to the A string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a C major chord, and sounds really, really happy. And then there's kind of a cool push on the next phrase. You kind of play a D major, and then a really quick G major, and then D major change, and then we go back to C major, and then we go back to D major. And then we basically be repeating those parts until we get to our bridge part. And on our bridge part, it's almost like a chorus variation where we kind of end up going between the C major, D major. So it's almost like C and D have gotten substituted in for our A minor, B minor. C, D, C, D, G, D, C, D. And that idea kind of gets repeated for our outro. But one other thing that I like to do to kind of make a song like this a little bit more interesting, though, is add a strum pattern. And one of my favorite 4/4 strum patterns for a song like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So we took the E minor and just tried that a lot. You'd have down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up, down, up. Now on that first part, you may want to start with just kind of that big down on the E minor, and then kind of work it to the D push, the D, D minor. But if you wanted to, you could kind of fill up that time with the strum pattern. And if you did, actually what you would end up with is kind of an E minor with the whole strum pattern, and then kind of a halving of an E minor and a D chord. And one way to do that is just doing a down, down, up on each of those chords. So if we tried that through the verse, you'd have E minor, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, D, down, down, E minor, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, D, down, down, E minor, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, D, down, down, E minor, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, G, down, down, up. And then we kind of end up going into our chorus part. And if we tried that idea through the chorus, the one weird part is where we end up with that D with kind of the quick GD after it. And one way to do that is kind of think about the D as kind of a halving with down, down, up, and then kind of a big down on G, big down on D. So if we tried our chorus with our strum pattern, we'd have A minor, down, up, down, B minor, down, down, up, down, A minor, down, down, up, down, B minor, down, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, D, down, down, G, down, D, down, C, down, down, up, down, D, down, down, up, down, up. And then if we try that idea through our bridge part, which kind of becomes our outro, we'd have the C, down, up, down, D, down, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, D, down, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, D, down, down, G, down, D, down, C, down, down, up, down, D, down, down, up, down, up. Now the weird part is though, to play along with Drake, instead of starting on an E minor chord, he's actually starting on an F sharp minor chord. So what you want to do to play along with the recording is kind of take a capo. If you put the capo on 2nd fret, then now your E minor is really an F sharp minor, your D major is really an E major chord, your A minor is really a B minor chord, the B minor is really a C sharp minor chord, and when we get to it, the C major is really a D major chord. But just to take that from the very, very beginning, you may want to do your verse with just kind of that big down on the E minor and kind of work the D major push, that D, D, E minor. Or if you want to kind of try it with the strum pattern, then you have the down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, D, down, down, up, E minor, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, D, down, down, E minor, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, D, down, down, E minor, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, G, down, down, up. And then we'd be on our chorus part. So we got our A minor, down, down, E minor, down, 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 E minor, down, 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 E minor, down, 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 C, down, 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 D, down, down, G, down, D, down, C, down, 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 D, down, down, down. And then we'd be going back into our verse part. So we got E minor, down, down, E minor, down, down, D, down, down, E minor, down, 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 E minor, down, down, D, down, down, E minor, down, 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 E minor, down, down, D, down, down, E minor, down, 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 E minor, down, down, G, down, down, and then we'd be back on our chorus part. So we got our A minor, down, down, E minor, down, 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 E minor, down, 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 E minor, down, 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 C, down, 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 D, down, down, G, down, D, down, C, down, 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 D, down, down, down. Then we'd basically be going back into our verse again. Now one other thing I would think about adding to the strum pattern is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, down, you can throw in a bass note for the chord to make it a little bit more interesting. Kind of simulate playing with a bass player. So on the E minor, you can kind of play the low E string for your bass and then do your down, up, down. So E minor with low E bass, down, down, E minor with low E bass, down, down, E minor with low E bass, down, down. Now on the D chord, you have the D string for your bass. So D with the D bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down. On the A minor, you'd have the A string for your bass. So A minor with an A bass, down, down, E minor with an A bass, down, down. And then on the B minor, you'd have the A string for your bass. E minor with an A bass, down, down. Or if you're doing one of the smaller ones, you may have to kind of fake that on the G string. And then from the B minor, if we get to the C chord, we have the A string for our bass on our C major chord. So C with an A bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down. And on the G chord, you have the low E string for your bass. So low E bass, down, down. So on that next verse, we tried it with bass notes. The weird part is where we got that E minor D that are halving, but you got enough time to kind of do a bass down up on each of those chords. So on that part, you got E minor with low E bass, down up, D with the D bass, down up, to kind of try that. So if we tried that through our next verse, we'd have E minor with low E bass, down up, down, E minor with low E bass, down, D with the D bass, down, E minor with low E bass, down up, down, E minor with low E bass, down, D with the D bass, down, E minor with low E bass, down, down, E minor with low E bass, down, D with the D bass, down, E minor with low E bass, down, down, E minor with low E bass, down, G with low E bass, down. And then if we try that through our chorus part, the weird part is where we're halving that D and then doing the G with the down, down. And on that part, you may want to just do kind of that bass down up on the D and then just leave the G and D as kind of downs. So we tried that through the chorus. We have A minor with an A bass, down, down, B minor with a B bass, or A bass, A minor with an A bass, B minor with an A bass, C with an A bass, down, down, D with a bass, down, G, D, C with an A bass, down, down, D with a D bass, down, down, and then right after that chorus, we'd be going into our bridge part. So we tried that with just our down, down, up, down, up. We'd have the C, down, down, D, down, 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 C, down, 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 D, down, 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 C, down, 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 D, down, down, G, down, D, down, C, down, 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 D, down, down, down. Or if we tried that with our bass down, up, down, up, we'd have C with an A bass, down, down, D with a D bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, D with the bass, down, G, down, D, down, C with an A bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, and then we're going back into our chorus. So we tried that with our bass notes. We have the A minor with an A bass, down, down, B minor with an A bass, down, down, B minor with an A bass, down, down, B minor with an A bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, D with the bass, down, G with the down, D down, C with an A bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, and then we'd be on our outro part, which is very much like our bridge. We got the C with an A bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, G, D, C with an A bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, and then we kind of repeat that at the very end. And so we got the C with an A bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, G, D, C with an A bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, and then for myself at the very end, I really think about kind of playing a big E minor chord because that's where we kind of started. But that's the basics of how you could strum through "Find Your Love" by Drake. So good luck.